Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome to AdamMcKola TV. I'm Adam. This is the Weekly United, the place where we wrap up the week in the world of Manchester United and bring to you the latest news, headlines, transfer rumours, all that jazz. And after a gut-punching, heart-breaking a draw that felt like a defeat against Everton at the weekend, Manchester United managed to bounce back with a victory over West Ham and another goal. 3-3 now from Scotty to Hottie, a crucial goal. He scores loads of goals, not only against City and Leeds and all those kind of teams. He scored a crucial goal in the FA Cup to put us through to the last eight. We found out who our opponents were in the last eight, and we'll be going through the FA Cup draw in today's video, as well as Amad Diallo and the scumbags at the Daily Mail, Jose Mourinho and how he could help our season with an SOS. There's an SOS from Man United fans to Jose Mourinho, and of course he's beginning to show signs a little bit of melting down, but fingers crossed he's got one more Mourinho masterclass in him. We'll go through the FA Cup draw, as I said. News for Manchester United fans on Edinson Cavani as he's received a ban. But I tell you how that's good news for Manchester United. And of course, we look ahead towards that West Bromwich Albion game as well. Get your thoughts in the comments below on everything that we are discussing ahead of that game. Make sure you're keeping it locked by hitting that subscribe button as well. Like, comment, share, all that jazz. And of course, yeah, so much more content coming your way. Loads of good stuff coming, so make sure you're keeping it locked. But for now, let's get stuck in. And let's start with this trash reporting in the Daily Mail. Now, look at this headline. Just look at this headline. And now, read it and let that settle in. When you read that headline, did you think Amad Diallo was only 10 years old and was a victim of child trafficking at that stage? Because that's exactly what happened. That is exactly what happened. Yet the Daily Mail, of course, a young black footballer, is painted as a criminal. Painted as a criminal. Fined £42,000 for falsifying documents. A 10-year-old boy. They're painting it as if he went out there looking for false documents, made the false documents, and then made the bogus parent story as well. Now, you know, I imagine people that were close to him had arranged that. I imagine people that were around him had arranged that. Talented footballers going to Italy to play for a big club. I'm sure there's some wrongdoing that has gone on there. But to paint Amad Diallo as the criminal here is incredible stuff from the Daily Mail. It's not surprising. Now, they could have used that to basically open up a little conversation or a debate, a serious topic on child trafficking, and, you know, has football got an issue with this? Because is this something we see a lot? Like, you know, just ask some questions, maybe dig a little bit deeper, find out some answers, do some proper investigative journalism, do some proper journalism. But no, instead what they'll do, they'll go and get the cheap clicks. They'll go and paint a footballer in a bad image. It's proper, like, it's typical of the Daily Mail. I can't believe it. And in this day and age when we're talking about racism and things like that. Now, this isn't overt racism, but it's subliminal stuff that minorities will clock. And it's like, yes, all well and good targeting people on social media and trolls and these accounts that send people abuse for no reason. All well and good. But look at the issues that are really going on within our media, within our, you know, just within real life that's away from social media. Those are things that need resolved more than that, in my opinion. Facebook and Twitter, whilst they have a lot to resolve and whilst they have a lot to fix, they're not the reason, or they're not creating racism. Do you know what I mean? And you can weed it out from more serious places. Start there, and you won't have these trolls that think they can get away with it, because an environment is built from people like the Daily Mail, from some of these politicians that we see, from loads of these different people, and then you see it coming out on social media. Fucking hell, let's move on from this and get on to some football. And Jose Mourinho, SOS Jose Mourinho, now it's already today. He's cracked. He's already had a go at Gareth Bale and saying that his Instagram posts aren't true. He's not really had a good training session. It's started already. I can't believe it. But us Man United fans, we really do need a favour from Jose Mourinho on the weekend. Manchester United will be taking on West Bromwich Albion, as we know. And Jose Mourinho, whose club got knocked out of the FA Cup against Everton 5-4 after extra time this week, which doesn't help us in our quest to see them get points off City, takes his side to the Etihad. Now, they beat City at White Hart Lane, or whatever their new stadium's called, earlier in the season. So maybe the omens are good. Can they do the double? Can they get a point out of it? These are the games, though, where we need City to drop some points. Over the next couple of weeks, they got, Spurs, Arsenal, Everton. Now, that are most difficult games, but they're games where we've dropped points and they've cost us massively. And they're probably the games we can most hope that City will drop points before they play us. So we really need to see something happen now. I'd love Jose to go over there, stink the place out and grab a 1-0. I'm not the most confident in that happening, but here's an SOS to you, Jose. Please save our title race and grab something at the Etihad. Please, please, please. What he won't be grabbing is the FA Cup, and that's because his side are knocked out of the competition. The last 8 has been done. Leicester against Manchester United. Everton against City. Barnsley were beaten by Chelsea, so Chelsea will play Sheffield United. And Bournemouth against Southampton, a local derby there down south on the south coast. But an interesting draw. Whilst you think United and City have been kept apart, that's good for the neutrals, I guess. But they're in 2 tricky ties. United against Leicester is not a gimme. City against Everton is not a gimme. So some tricky ties for those 2 clubs. Chelsea have got a big opportunity to get to the semi-finals, as have Southampton. But Bournemouth beat Burnley, so you never know what can happen. But a very, very interesting last 8 draw. I was hoping for the Sheffield United, Southampton, Bournemouth kind of tie. I wanted to try and avoid Leicester and Everton and City. But here you go. And to win the cup, you got to beat these teams. So let's do it. Leicester City it is. I told you that news about Edinson Cavani being banned. Well, don't fear, he's been banned from international football for 2 matches, which could really help Manchester United when you think about it. We need a fully fit, raring to go Edinson Cavani. It's been a hectic campaign. Whilst he hasn't started every game for Manchester United, still he's played a lot of football. And that international break, him going South America and doing all that, taking that out of the equation really, really could help Manchester United in the latter stages of the season. Keeping Edinson Cavani fit, wrapping him up in cotton wool. Maybe we don't have to think about resting him too much when we go into the international break, because we know he's not going to be doing that travelling and playing in those games for Uruguay. So whilst he has got a ban and I'm sure he's disappointed himself, I'm not disappointed at all. Buzzing that Cavani's banned for Uruguay as we get a little bit more of him. And as we said, up next is that West Bromwich Albion game. Huge game for Manchester United. Now, some people will think it's a certain 3 points, but we've seen what that can happen against these relegation battlers when we play Sheffield United at Old Trafford. I wouldn't take this one for granted at all. But we need to win. We need to win. It's as simple as that. We need to win. We need to get 3 points. We need to keep going. We need to keep picking up points and hoping City drop points. Now, City may have dropped points before we play West Bromwich Albion, and that would be great going into it. But if that happens, even if it doesn't happen, City win, we need to respond and put in a performance, get goals and a comfortable victory. We can't be scraping games. We need to build some momentum, build up some confidence. And it's been a real sucker punch, that Everton game, because that was a big win if we held on. When you think of the Leicester City away, the missed chances against Liverpool, Arsenal, one of them or 2 of them goes the right way for you, and you build up some momentum and some confidence that can take you to a title. Now, all's not lost, but we need to do some catching up, and fingers crossed it starts this weekend. Eric Bailly and Paul Pogba will be out for Manchester United, along with the usual suspects. Paul Pogba's out for 2 to 4 weeks. Eric Bailly's hopefully back next week. But we have got a couple of injuries, but we've got a pretty strong squad going into this game. And hopefully the lads will perform. We'll have content coming up for you over the weekend as well. Make sure you're keeping it locked for that. Like, comment, share, subscribe. For now, this has been the Weekly United. I have been AdamMcKola. I am gonna get out of here. But before I do, hit that subscribe button.